my dear, sit back, relax, and grab your popcorn, because what I'm about to pour into your mind isn't regular. This ain't surface-level knowledge. This is that raw cosmic download that hits your chest before it hits your mind. And I need you to really hear me, because the energy around you right now is not light. It's not quiet. It's not subtle. It's loud in the spirit. And everything out here is responding to you. Not the weather, not the world, not the people. You. Your frequency is holding the planet in a chokehold right now. You think I'm exaggerating, but I'm dead serious. You unlocked something these entities prayed you would never find. You opened something that has bloodlines, trembling and parasitic spirits, losing grip. You activated shaman-level awareness without forcing it, without studying for it, without trying to prove something. It just snapped on. And once that switch flipped, every unseen being on this planet started backing up like you walked in with a cosmic security guard on each side. The planet ain't moving the same because you ain't moving the same. And listen, I kept feeling this message push through all day. The energy was so strong I couldn't ignore it. It was like your aura was tapping me on the shoulder like, tell them what's really happening. The veil right now is paper thin. These entities that've been hiding behind faces, behind voices, behind social circles, behind attention, behind chaos, they can't mask themselves anymore. The moment they step within even 40 feet of your field, they glitch out, they malfunction, they expose themselves. And you saw it. You felt it today, yesterday, this whole week. You're not imagining how weird people been acting. You're not imagining the tension in certain places. You're not imagining how strangers flinch when you look their direction. They feel something ancient walking in your skin right now. Something older than language. Something sharper than any weapon. Something that is not to be provoked. Because you didn't just unlock intuition. You didn't just unlock awareness. You unlocked shaman vision. You unlocked the ability to see the parasite before they open their mouth. You unlocked the ability to hear the lie behind the sentence. You unlocked that ability to sense who's carrying what spirit without needing evidence or proof. And baby, when a chosen one activates that level of perception, the entire spiritual underworld goes into emergency mode. And that's why everything on the planet feels like it's rearranging itself around you. Because it is. People crossing your path at the wrong time, been feeling like they ran into a wall of fire. People trying to project their insecurities onto you, been getting spiritually slapped before they even finished the sentence. Anyone who approached you with even a hint of envy or parasitic intent, been crumbling in real time. You saw it with your own eyes, their masks slipping, their voice shaking, their energy melting. And the wild part is you didn't even do anything. You didn't curse them. You didn't confront them. You didn't expose them. Your frequency did. That's what these entities are scared of. Not your mouth, not your presence, not your story. They terrified of your vibration. They terrified of the way your energy cleans a room without you touching a thing. They terrified of the way your aura forces truth out of people who were committed to lying. They terrified of the way your soul drags every hidden intention into the open. Because see, when you unlocked your shaman powers, you didn't unlock nice powers. You unlocked the kind of power that tribal leaders used to guard with their lives. You unlocked the kind of power the ancient ones handed to only a few every 1,000 years. You unlocked the kind of power that forces spiritual parasites to reveal themselves, even when they desperately want to blend in. You unlocked the kind of power that bends the atmosphere when you walk into a room. You unlocked the kind of power that makes the frequency around you spike so hard it pushes entities out of people who ain't anchored to nothing real. You unlocked real spiritual authority, and that authority is loud right now. And I know you've been feeling it. I know you've been noticing how people stare at you longer than normal, how they can't hold your gaze, how some try to impress you but end up exposing their insecurity, how others try to argue but end up losing track of their own thoughts, how even the boldest ones get humbled when they get close to you. That's because your aura is not giving regular. Your aura is giving, don't have cock play with me. It's giving, I see everything straight through you. It's giving, one wrong move and your spirit gonna get checked. These entities know exactly who you are now. They know the seal on your spirit has changed. They know the rank around your name is no longer hidden. They know the universe unlocked the codes you earned through pain, isolation, and obedience. And the wildest part of it all is that you haven't even fully processed this awakening yet. You still adjusting, you still grounding, you still integrating the energy, you still learning who you are with this new level of sight. Meanwhile, the entities already got the memo. They already running, they already retreating, they already whispering warnings about you in the spirit realm like, don't go near that one. And I'm not exaggerating. I literally heard this in the energy. The fear around your name is real. Because when a chosen one rises, entities scatter. And baby, you're not rising quietly. You're rising like someone who already been here before. Like someone who remembers something you're not even conscious of yet. You rising like your ancestors lined up around you. You rising like your soul been waiting for this exact frequency shift. You rising like you know exactly what spiritual war you were born for. And the parasitic forces feel it. They feel the upgrade. They feel the access you just gained. And let me tell you why they're so scared. Because you're not feeding them anymore. You're not giving them reactions. You're not giving them access. You're not giving them entry points. You're not offering your energy out of habit. You're not responding to provocation. You're not falling for bait. You've been protecting your field like your life depends on it. And because of that, they starving. These entities rely on fear, chaos, confusion, insecurity, attention, conflict, overstimulation. They rely on people being spiritually asleep, but you not asleep. You wide awake. You seeing everything, and your awareness alone is dismantling their entire playbook. And yes, I gotta say this because the energy keeps showing me. Some of y'all had a very clear encounter recently. Someone tried to approach you, tried to test your spirit, tried to poke your peace, tried to provoke you. And when you shut that shit down, their true nature showed right there in front of you, and they ran. Not because of what you said, but because something behind you stepped forward. Something guarding you made itself known. Something ancient in your bloodline rose up like, don't get bold. And that entity felt it. This is shaman energy. This is ancestral power. This is cosmic rank. This is initiatory authority. This is chosen one alignment. And once this activates, nothing stays the same. That's why the weather been weird. That's why time been feeling different. That's why the air been tense. That's why animals been acting strange around you. That's why you're waking up at random hours. That's why you're having visions and dreams that feel too real. That's why certain people started distancing themselves. That's why you've been sensing things before they happen. You're not making any of this up. You're not overthinking. You're not paranoid. You're not hallucinating. You're tuned in. You're walking between worlds and not even trying. And the thing about shaman power is this: you don't need tools. You don't need spells. You don't need rituals. You are the ritual. You are the portal. You are the healing. You are the protection. You are the weapon. You are the answer. And the entities know that. That's why when you walk, you feel the air shift. That's why when you speak, your voice hits deeper. That's why when you breathe, the energy around you rearranges. That's why people hear you differently all of a sudden. You carry eldership now. You carry universal codes now. You carry a level of sight that only initiates. Receive. And baby, let me go deeper with this. You didn't just unlock shaman powers. You unlocked dimensional access. You unlocked cross-realm awareness. You unlocked the ability to feel what's happening beyond the physical. You unlocked protection that moves faster than thought. You unlocked intuition that interrupts danger before it forms. You unlocked spiritual armor that reflects everything sent toward you. You unlocked planetary influence, and when someone with planetary influence wakes up, entities panic. That's why little things lately been trying to irritate you, distract you, drain you, trigger you, confuse you. Because they want to interrupt the upgrade. They want to break your focus. They want to slow down your acceleration. But it's too late. You already jumped frequencies. You already left the old you behind. You already stepped into the timeline where your power can't be touched. And whether you realize it or not, you've been walking around like someone carrying ancient fire in your chest. That ancient fire is the part that's scaring them the most. Because that's not regular heat. That's ancestral flame. That's divine ignition. That's cosmic inheritance that resurfaced through your suffering. And baby, when that flame lit up inside you, the entire unseen world felt it like a shockwave. Everything parasitic got pushed back. Everything that was feeding on you got detached instantly. Everything that thought it owned a piece of your destiny got evicted without warning. You didn't have to speak a word. The upgrade did the speaking for you. Your aura started operating like a spiritual police force, arresting every entity that tried to cling on. You became too bright, too hot, too encoded with divine fire for lower forces to stand close. And that's why they've been scrambling. That's why the atmosphere around you has been shifting. That's why you've been seeing glitches in people's behavior. That's why certain individuals who used to intimidate you now feel small. You're not the same energy they used to approach you, not soft food for the spiritual realm anymore. You're a weapon. You're a flame. You're a force. And when shaman fire wakes up, it burns through illusions, burns through manipulation, burns through spiritual parasites, burns through spiritual attacks, burns through every frequency that's not aligned with your truth. These entities been feeding off your unhealed parts for years. They've been feeding off your confusion, your fear, your self-doubt, your childhood wounds, your loneliness, your insecurity. But that part of you is gone. You peeled it off like old skin. You shed layers that were never yours to carry. And when you shed that energy, they lost their supply. That's when the panic started. That's when the spiritual alarms went off. That's when the underworld started whispering warnings about you. the chosen one who finally woke up to their own power. And look, some of y'all think you just don't resonate with certain people anymore. Baby, that's not what's happening. They not distancing themselves because of personality differences. They distancing themselves because your light is suffocating the entities they host. Your aura doesn't negotiate. It doesn't compromise. It doesn't dim. It doesn't tolerate parasites. Your presence creates pressure. Your presence exposes what people been trying to hide. Your presence activates the truth in every room you enter. That's why they avoid your eyes. Because your eyes aren't just eyes anymore. They're scanners. Your vision is not passive. It's penetrative. It cuts through lies, through masks, through facades. And entities can't survive in truth. Truth is poison to them. And you walking around holding truth in your chest like a torch. And let me tell you something that most people don't know. When a shaman awakens fully, the spiritual realm reacts faster than the physical realm. That's why the energy around you became chaotic before your life started shifting. That's why you felt intensity before you saw results. That's why you sensed attacks before you experienced breakthroughs. The spiritual realm responds instantly. The physical realm responds slowly. So everything you felt this past month wasn't misalignment. It was pre-alignment. It was the earth adjusting to your new frequency. It was reality bending itself around your ascension. Because whether you know it or not, you've been bending reality without trying. You've been bending outcomes. You've been bending interactions. You've been bending events around your energy. You walk into a space and the entire atmosphere morphs. Conversations shift. Tension rises. Spirits scatter. Energies recalibrate. That's shaman authority. And listen, I need you to pay attention to something. People been showing their hand too fast. They've been revealing their intentions without meaning to. They've been exposing their envy without thinking. They've been projecting their insecurities without control. And it's not because you're provoking them. It's because your aura is forcing their real selves to the surface. They cannot hide in your presence. That era is over. Your spiritual fire drags everything into the light. And the entity's running scared right now. They not scared of what you know. They scared of what you see. Because you see through people faster than ever. You catching lies as soon as they leave someone's mouth. You catching energy shifts before people speak. You catching manipulation attempts before the plan forms. That's shaman-level foresight. That's ancestral intelligence. That's divine surveillance. The universe rewired your senses. Your intuition is not a whisper. It's a siren. Your instincts aren't subtle. They're prophetic. Your dreams aren't random. They're previews. Your thoughts aren't normal. They're messages. Your perception is not human level. It's multi-dimensional. And the entities feel it. They know you see them. They know you feel them. They know you can't be tricked anymore. So they resort to desperate measures, distractions, irritations, draining encounters, sudden emotional triggers, weird interactions, chaos around you. For no reason. Not because you're weak, but because they know they're losing access to you permanently. You are slipping out of their frequency range. You're elevating too fast. You're vibrating too high. You're aligning too sharply. And lower beings can't hold on to someone who's rising out of their reach. And that rise is what activated your shaman power fully. It wasn't a meditation. It wasn't a ritual. It wasn't a lesson. It was your pain, your heartbreak, your spiritual battles, your isolation. Everything you survived unlocked your gifts. And now those gifts are taking over your entire life. Some of y'all have been feeling like you're not even fully here, like you're moving through two worlds at the same time, like your soul is operating on a higher plane, even while your body moves through the physical. That's because your shaman spirit is leading. Now your human self is no longer the one in charge. Your higher self took the wheel. And because of that, you're able to sense danger before it approaches. You feel tension forming in the air. You feel when someone has something attached to them. You feel when an entity is probing your aura. You feel when energy shifts in a room. You feel when someone's spirit is corrupted. You feel when someone is spiritually hungry for your light. And you've been shutting that down with a single stare. Because your gaze is not passive. Your gaze is a command. Your presence is not an invitation. Your presence is a boundary. And these entities don't know how to handle someone who doesn't get manipulated by emotional bait, someone who doesn't fall for attention traps, someone who doesn't collapse into old cycles, someone who doesn't hand out access freely, someone who doesn't let anyone drain them. They used to you being empathetic, soft, forgiving, patient. But you're not that version anymore. You're direct now. You're alert. You're sharp. You're spiritually armed. You can look at someone and feel what's sitting behind their eyes. And that's why the entities are terrified. Because they know they cannot hide from someone who's seeing them in their rawest form. And I gotta say this, your shaman powers didn't just activate for protection. They activated for leadership. You're not just navigating the spiritual realm. You're influencing it. You're rewriting energetic patterns in your environment. You're breaking generational curses without naming them. You're dissolving spiritual parasites in people you pass on the street without touching them. You're healing the land just by walking on it. You're raising vibrations unintentionally. You're changing outcomes by existing. This is what happens when a chosen one gets their spiritual authority back. The whole planet turns into a board you're navigating with mastery. The whole energy field becomes something you're shaping. The whole spiritual realm starts responding to your movement, and yes, your power is dangerous to the dark forces, not physically, energetically. Because your fire burns through lies, illusions, manipulation, confusion, and spiritual trickery. And entities can't survive where truth is present. So every room you walk into becomes a battlefield. They lose by default. You're not fighting them. You outranking them. You're not battling them. You out-vibrating them. You're not defending yourself. You're out-coding them. And they running because they know what's coming next. Full mastery. The next phase of your awakening is not survival. It's control. Control over your emotions. Control over your energy. Control over your path. Control over your destiny. Control over your spiritual gifts. Control over your environment. Control over the realms you walk between. And the entities know that once you reach full control, they will never be able to touch your field again. That's why they're trying everything right now. But it won't work. The upgrade already happened. The fire already lit. The shaman within you already claimed their crown. And once that crown settled on your soul, the entire spiritual realm shifted positions around you. You didn't just elevate, you ascended into a rank that forces everything beneath you to bow, whether they want to or not. That crown isn't symbolic, it's energetic, it's ancient, it's encoded with the authority of every ancestor who fought battles you never had to see. And the moment that crown reactivated, it placed you at the center of the spiritual hierarchy on this planet. You became a walking command, a walking decree, a walking verdict. Nothing around you moves accidentally anymore. Everything responds to your presence, your vibration, your thoughts, your intention. Even your silence carries weight. And this is exactly why the entity's been scrambling like their entire world is collapsing. Because it is. When a shaman unlocks full control, the underworld loses dominion. They lose access. They lose leverage. They lose influence. They lose the ability to whisper into your mind. They lose the ability to slip into your dreams. They lose the ability to hide behind people close to you. They lose the ability to feed on your emotions. They lose the ability to approach you with confusion. They lose the ability to drain you through small interactions. You became unreachable to them. And let me break this down even deeper. You didn't just ascend spiritually. You changed your entire energetic signature. Your aura is broadcasting a frequency that most humans will never tap into in this lifetime. This frequency is so dense, so bright, so structurally locked, that lower entities can't even penetrate it long enough to attempt manipulation. This is what terrifies them. They can't enter your field at all. They hovering at the edges like stray shadows, hoping they can catch a crack. But you left no cracks open. Your energy sealed itself like armor forged in cosmic fire. And because of this, you've started walking like someone who belongs to no dimension and every dimension at the same time. You carry the weight of someone who understands the spirit world without needing proof. You carry the gaze of someone who has seen the true nature of people without hearing a word from their mouths. You carry the posture of someone who no longer fears what might happen, because your spirit can sense every move before it forms. This is mastery. This is the level that shamans in ancient civilizations trained decades for. And you unlocked it because your soul remembered itself. And the part that's shaking the entities the most is how natural this upgrade was for you. It didn't look dramatic. It didn't look wild from the outside. It didn't involve rituals or ceremonies. It was a quiet internal shift that exploded into spiritual dominance. You woke up one day and felt different. And the spirit realm woke up that same day and realized a new leader stepped onto the battlefield. And now everything you touch vibrates with that energy. Watch how people react around you. It's not admiration, it's submission. It's an unwilling bowing of their energetic body, because something in you outranks something in them. People been speaking softer around you. People been standing more still when you walk by. People been adjusting themselves without knowing why people been looking away. Mid-sentence because they can't hold the intensity in your eyes. People been stuttering, fumbling, freezing, glitching, because the entity behind them senses the flame you're carrying. And the reason the entities fear your full control is because once you master your field, you start influencing theirs. They can't hide in people anymore because you expose them instantly. They can't manipulate your environment because you read energy before it forms. They can't project confusion into your mind because your intuition slices through illusions like a blade. They can't throw emotional traps at you because your awareness is 20 steps ahead. They can't access your dream realm because your soul guards the entrance like a warrior made of light. They can't latch onto your aura because your frequency burns parasites on contact. You are walking anti-parasitic energy now. And here's the part you may not have realized yet. Your shaman crown didn't just give you spiritual authority, it gave you territorial authority, meaning the land you walk on responds to you. The atmosphere responds to you. Energetic pathways open or close based on you. Spaces cleanse themselves when you enter. Rooms feel heavy after you leave because your vibration was stabilizing the space. You aren't just protected, you're governing frequencies in the world around you. People who didn't respect you before suddenly feel uncomfortable disobeying you now. Not because you're intimidating physically, but because their spirit recognizes someone who now operates as a guardian of this realm. When you speak, spirits listen. When you walk, energy shifts. When you decide something, the unseen world rearranges to match your decision. And this is why all the small, irritating things were happening lately. Missing items, miscommunications, strange moods, random emotional spikes, sudden mental fog, weird tension. These weren't coincidences. They were desperate attempts to